Remember, success is a journey, not a destination. Have faith in your ability. You will do just fine. Each man should frame life so that at some future hour fact and his dreaming mate. I will no longer mutilate and destroy myself in order to find a secret behind the ruins. Choosing kindness is the ultimate expression of evolved consciousness. Grow by being kind. Perhaps what is inexpressible is the background against which whatever I could express has its meaning. I finally figured out the only reason to be alive is to enjoy it. We're here to be family to one another, to exist for the sake of others, even as others exist for our sake. Success means we go to sleep at night knowing that our talents and abilities were used in a way that served others. You don't know me. You know one me, just like I know one you. And you can't know every me, and I can't know every you. What made me run away was doubtless not so much the fear of settling down, but of settling down permanently in something ugly. Sometimes you just have those days where everything goes wrong. But sometimes, and totally unexpectedly, something can go right. Anyone who is capable of getting themselves made president should on no account be allowed to do the job. I am not pretty. I am not beautiful. I am as radiant as the sun. For life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday. Humor can get in under the door while seriousness is still fumbling at the handle. We are animals, and as animals we kill to survive. Unfortunately, some of us are monsters and kill just because they can. Christ is not valued at all, unless he is valued above all. Pull up a chair. Take a taste. Come join us. Life is so endlessly delicious. The scientific spirit is of more value than its products, and irrationally held truths may be more harmful than reasoned errors. Let the speaker speak truly and the judge decide justly. Challenges are gifts that force us to search for a new center of gravity. Don't fight them. Just find a new way to stand. Art is the social antithesis of society, not directly deducible from it. It's a good idea always to do something relaxing prior to making an important decision in your life. With one day's reading, a man may have the key in his hands. To live is to change, to acquire the words of a story, and that is the only celebration we mortals really know. Unless we learn to know ourselves, we run the danger of destroying ourselves. When you are in company of people who don't add value to your life, you risk wasting your effort to succeed. We can regard our life as a uselessly disturbing episode in the blissful repose of nothingness. Just because you don't understand it doesn't mean it isn't so. Acquiring wisdom is great, but it is not the goal. Applying it is. As long as you gave everything you had and you didn't let it break you, it could never be considered a failure. When people say things are a lot more complicated than that, they means they're getting worried that they won't like the truth. Stop giving meaningless praise and start giving meaningful action. No matter where you are, you're always a bit on your own, always an outsider. Temperament is just an elite perception of who you seem to be right now, not who you will ever be. It is not easy to keep silent when silence is a lie. To see a world in a grain of sand and a heaven in a wild flower, hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. No matter how slow the truth moves, it will surely reach its destination. An empowered life begins with serious personal questions about oneself. Those answers bear the seeds of success. Better to get hurt by the truth than comforted with a lie. Es ist nicht genick, zu wissen, man muss auch winden. Es ist nicht genick, zu wollen, man muss auch tun. To know that we know what we know, and to know that we do not know what we do not know, that is true knowledge. The truth is incontrovertible. Malice may attack it, ignorance may deride it, but in the end, there it is. When it's possible for you to dream, it's not impossible to achieve. The fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool. Once you make it to your point of making it, you'll appreciate the struggle. You don't have to make something that people call art. Living is an artistic activity. There is an art to getting through the day. This is how the entire course of a life can be changed, by doing nothing. Anything not worth doing is worth not doing well. Think about it. Ruin is a gift. Ruin is the road to transformation. True siblings are bound together by far more essential things than blood, while more times than many blood isn't thicker than water. Me with nothing left to lose, plotting my big revenge in the spotlight. Give me violent revenge fantasies as a coping mechanism. You are exactly where you need to be. Do something if you want something. Otherwise, it will be your whole life. Nothing in this world compares to the comfort and security of having someone just hold your hand. Sometimes, the grass is greener. Sometimes, it is sick. If your actions don't live up to your words, you have nothing to say. There are no classes in life for beginners. Right away, you are always asked to deal with what is most difficult. There's nothing wrong with not understanding yourself. I'm looking into my past lives. I'm convinced some of them still owe me money. We dance round in a ring and suppose, but the secret sits in the middle and knows. Help others without any reason and give without the expectation of receiving anything in return. Consistency is the true foundation of trust. Either keep your promises or do not make them. Even though human life may be the most precious thing on earth, we always behave as if there were something of higher value than human life. Earth's crammed with heaven, but only he who sees takes off his shoes. Expectations make people miserable, so whatever yours are, lower them. You'll definitely be happier. 10 years from now, make sure you can say that you chose your life, you didn't settle for it. Not all can believe anything they want to, because not all have the ability to believe. People have boldness to criticize, but not to sensitize. One of the most scariest things in life is when you come to the realization that the only thing that can save you is yourself. There's a world of difference between truth and facts. Facts can obscure truth. Choose your steps wisely because your footprints may be followed by others. People aren't born good or bad. Maybe they're born with tendencies either way, but it's the way you live your life that matters. If you haven't confidence in self, you are twice defeated in the race of life. With confidence, you have won even before you have started. Who controls the past controls the future. Who controls the present controls the past. When you say I and my too much, you lose the capacity to understand the we and our. It's easier to fake it. When you fake it for 16 years, it becomes part of you, something you don't think about. Try not to become a man of success, but rather become a man of value. Realize that everything connects to everything else. In between goals is a thing called life that has to be lived and enjoyed. I will not let anyone scare me out of my full potential. I was always looking outside myself for strength and confidence, but it comes from within. It is there all the time. No greater gift there is than a generous heart. Life gives us choices. You either grab on with both hands and just go for it, or you sit on the sidelines. We have to dare to be ourselves, however frightening or strange that self may prove to be. When you do the right thing, you get the feeling of peace and serenity associated with it. Do it again and again. If you place your head in a lion's mouth, then you cannot complain one day if he happens to bite it off. No matter what you're going through, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. It's a strange myth that atheists have nothing to live for. It's the opposite. We have nothing to die for. We have everything to live for. Show me that I'm everywhere and get me home for tea. Trees that are slow to grow bear the best fruit. Success seems to be largely a matter of hanging on after others have let go. People resist a census, but give them a profile page, and they'll spend all day telling you who they are. Life is a journey that necessitates progress. Keep moving, because each step brings you closer to your goals. It's no use going back to yesterday because I was a different person then. The timing of your struggle depends on how resistant you are to your molding. Making time to experience joy is the single most important thing you can do to heal your heart. Rule of life: if you bother to ask someone's advice, then bother to listen to it. That which we persist in doing becomes easier to do, not that the nature of the thing has changed, but that our power to do has increased. Tomorrow hopes we have learned something from yesterday. The truth is, going against the internal stream of ignorance is way more rebellious than trying to start some sort of cultural revolution.